Hi guys, my name is Georgette Truan. I work for attorney Vincent Davis, and I am the host of Fight CPS World Talk with Miss G. I wanted to share an article with you guys until Stacy logs in. She's in the courthouse right now. She's trying to log in. But this is a foster care missing, foster care missing and trafficked kids. This is a news break original. I don't know if you guys have this app. It's it's called News Break Original. That was 3 days ago, okay? By Dawn Chappell. Dawn writes, in terms of missing children in foster care, a report from the Department of Health and Human Services Office of the Inspector General found that only 1/3 of the thousands of children who go missing from foster care each year are reported to a national agency as required by federal law. So if you guys go further, I will share the link with you guys after the show. A study by the FBI and the NCMEC found that 88% of missing and trafficked children were in foster care when they went missing. So I don't know if you guys remember when I've been, since I've been doing doing my shows, I have addressed this years ago that a lot of you guys didn't believe that CPS children are being sex trafficked. But many of you did believe it. But it's coming out in the open more and more so right now. Again, let me repeat what I just said though. 88% of missing and trafficked children were in foster care when they went missing. They were in foster care. Okay. That was a study by the FBI. A review of federal records revealed that child welfare agencies throughout the country have closed the cases of at least 61,000 foster children listed as missing since 2000, with additional 53,000 listed as runaways. They don't list them as trafficked, they list them as runaways. Runaways, okay? Now, let me go further. The other child tragedy, the tenth of thousands of children the foster care system has lost. More than 60 kids across the country are unaccounted for by the child welfare system that is supposed to protect them. The public has exploded in outrage at American immigration authorities' treatment of children in recent months. But meanwhile, there are tens of thousands of other children who are unaccounted for in this country. The more than 60,000 foster children who have gone missing. A review of federal records by investigative reporters Eric Rasmussen and Ms. Smith revealed in May that child welfare agencies throughout the country have closed the cases of at least 61,000 foster children listed as missing since 2000, as I read earlier, and additional 53,000 were listed as runaways. Their investigation aligns with other reports of children missing from various states. 80 currently missing in Kansas, hundreds lost in Florida. Against the scandal of migrants' children uncounted for, it's another scandal that our nation has lost track of so many of its own children. Just how did 60,000 of these children disappear? Blame a lack of federal oversight, underfunded agencies, straining under almost 500,000 children, high caseworker turnover. In some jurisdictions, staff turnover is as high as 90% a year. And chilling indifference to the foster children in Arizona and other states, children who are missing for 6 months are dropped from a foster care rolls. A missing foster child is not necessarily on the streets. Some are safe with a foster family or relatives, and even though the state has lost track of them. That's basically what they're doing. They're reporting to the state. They're reporting that there is no children missing. They're not reporting any child missing. So basically, what they're telling the foster family, like I told you guys years ago, what they're telling the foster family is like, oh, okay, that's, you don't have to call the police. Just let them go. That's what they say. That's what they say. And I told you guys this, and I'm so upset. It's not like I want to be right. This has nothing to do with right and wrong. This has to do with our children. This is children. When you see a child, 6-year-old, 5-year-old being raped, we're past that judges are ignorant. We are past that social workers are stupid and demonic. We're past that. But I don't want to talk about fixing them. I want to talk about a solution. I want to talk about our rights as parents, our rights as American citizens, our rights. We have to enforce our rights. And the only way to enforce our rights is to come together. And I keep telling you guys this. This is the time to come together. This is not the time to separate apart because of your stupidity of your differences with others. We need to come together. This is a fight that all Americans have to take stand to. This shit is real. I am pissed as hell. You guys should have the Dallas Morning News. That's on the Dallas Morning News 3 days ago. I also downloaded this app. It's called Newsbreak Original. You can go to your app store, download that app. This shit is real. This shit we have to put a stop to this. This is children who are being trafficked from ages 0 and up.
Miss G,
okay?
this isn't new news. They've known about this for a while. This is how Epstein got his kids.
We know that's how Epstein got his kids. I get that. I get it. But we're past. I'm done talking about changing judges and fixing judges and social workers. There is no fixing judges and social workers. I'm done with that. This is children. We're talking about a 2 months old being tied. Her arms are being tied in the back of her, crying so bad for multiple men to enter this baby. And then the baby dies. This shit is real. This is not something. I don't want to read about this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I don't want children to be subjected to this bullshit that our government is putting them through and then putting the families through. This shit has to stop. And it's going to stop when we all get together. We have to get together. We need to stop this. Bringing awareness is fine. Bringing awareness is great. But this is not going to stop this shit. This shit continues to linger on. This shit continues. They're making money off of this shit. Just a child should never, ever see shit like this. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. That's why parents are losing their minds. Parents are not crazy. The government is fucking crazy. Child Protective Services are fucking crazy and demonic individuals for subjecting children and parents to this bullshit. This is bullshit. This shit is bullshit.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
So Miss G was just reading about, but this has been out for a while because I've read it before, where 88% of kids who are sex trafficked come from
CPS custody. Yeah,
they come from foster care, and that if kids go missing from foster care, that if they look for them at all. Sometimes they might only look for 6 months and then they stop looking. And that's been going on for a long time. It's nice that someone's covering it now and bringing it back to light, but it's stupid because in 2014 they knew about this even back in 2014 because that's why they created the Preventing Child Sex Trafficking and Safe Families Act. So this research that Ms. G was just reading right now was even known in 2014.
Yeah,
And
but
that's why that
it's
act was
more than
created.
that, because we're talking about the governors in on it. We're talking about social workers are in on it. We're talking about protection for them. They're protecting criminals. The police is protecting them. The sheriff department is protecting them. They're protecting corrupt district attorneys. They're protecting corrupt judges. They're protecting corrupt social workers. They're protecting corrupt mayors. They're protecting them. They're protecting them.
Yes.
And when a parent speaks up, the parent is gagged. The parent is either put in jail. The parent is basically, the parent have no rights. The parents have no rights. This is not acceptable. This shit has to
Yeah,
stop.
when parents expose this, yes, they get retaliated on. It's there's no changing the fact that in 2023 in June, again, it's the U.S. Department of State report on human trafficking. That's our own government admitted in our own report that we are the main hub of sex trafficking in the world. That was our own government putting that in our own report. Mexico and Honduras were next. We are the biggest one in the world. So that means, like, stop arguing about Democrat, Republican. There's no way that we're the main hub in the world unless all these people that Ms. G is talking about right now are bad. You don't earn that title from only one party being wrong. All these politics, all of these judges, all this CPS, it's bad because they're all complicit. It's a $150 billion industry a year.
When I shared this with you guys years ago, I don't think, Stacy, you were around back then, but years ago, I shared this stuff. Some people believe, some people didn't, but most people believe though, and some people didn't until the movie came out. I forgot the name of the movie. I can't believe that. The Sound of Freedom. The Sound of Freedom came out, and also, reading now, since The Sound of Freedom came out, people have been talking about this. People have been exposing more and more of what's going on. The social workers that I'm friends with currently, one of them is here right now, and I can't show her face, but me and her were talking earlier about this article, and the one that shared the article with me was one of our clients, and I love her for sharing that with me. And I actually downloaded the app because I wanted to make sure that you guys understand what's going on. But the social workers that resigned from the department that I speak with, they told me specifically that the department will tell the foster family that if a teen runs away, like a 10-year-old, a preteen, or a teenager runs away from the house, do not call the police. Just report it to us and we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. That's exactly what they tell the foster family. The foster family are ignorant. Let me tell you why. Because their ignorance, not because they're stupid, no, but they're not aware. Their ignorance is they're unaware of what's really happening. Because they tell the foster family, these people are no good. These family, the mother and father are bad, whatever the case may be. But then guess what happens? They retaliate against their actual parents. Parents are innocent. They have no idea the parents are innocent because they think CPS work. They think that Department of Children and Family Services really truly protect children. They don't protect children. What they don't understand is that they're there to hinder any parent trying to fight for these children. Why are they not choosing rich parents? Think about that for a second. They're not choosing rich parents because they know they can hire an attorney. Why do you think they turn the family against itself? The reason they turn a family against itself because they don't want you to have support financially and mentally from your own family. And family members, relatives, and all your people should understand that. Social workers are not going to come with a horn and a tail for you to believe what I'm telling you. Remember that the devil is a deceiver. The devil is the father of lies. He deceives you. There's demons assigned in each of these social workers. The ones who don't have demons in them, the ones that actually love God and have God in them, are the ones that resign from the department. Anyone that stays in that department, they're not for you. I'm telling you right now, they're not for you. They're against you. They're against you 100%.
Miss
Stacey,
G,
you can go on
M.
from
Young
here.
has
I'm pissed.
M.
I,
Young
I,
has a comment. How did they lose all these children? That's the misconception. They're not losing the children. They're sex trafficking the children. They're not lost. This is intentional, deliberate. This isn't, oh, the child lost. For example, when you look at the kids who ran away in the ages, babies cannot run away, but they're on the runaway list.
yeah, but no, they don't put them on the runaway list. That's what you don't understand. There's
Well,
kids who are missing.
babies are
They don't
kids that
put
can't
them
walk.
on the runaway list. Right, right, right.
Yeah. So, and back in 2014, these were the same statistics. And like I said, they created the Preventing Sex Trafficking and Safe Families Act. And this is literally a result from the statistics you just read, Ms. G, from 2014. And the act was this. It made it the law that if a child goes missing from CPS custody, that they must report it to the police. Well, first of all, without that act, people are supposed to report missing children to the police.
Just text it to me.
So that act was really pointless in a
Mhm.
way because they're supposed to report to the police anyway, even without the act and before the act. But once that act went into place, those who actually learned about that act, missing children reports to police went up 300 some percent
Yep.
within, I think, 3 to 5 years. So that's just a fraction of kids that they were never reporting before, because who learned that they were supposed to report when they didn't know they were supposed to before? It's just going to be a small fraction there. And who knows these kids aren't really runaways, so they're still not reporting. But that 300% of missing children went up since they made that act in 2014. So this is how and why we are the main hub of child sex trafficking in the world. Right here, what you just read. It's not children going missing. This is deliberate sex trafficking. It's a $150 billion a year industry, if not maybe even more.
You know, do you remember that one the article you were talking about earlier, that you sent me about? It's coming from California. The traffic children are coming from California. Like, California is the biggest,
One of the biggest.
right, sex traffic rate. Well, the number you gave me was less than what I read.
Right.
That's how fast they're growing. That's
Yeah,
how fast it's growing. So America, I'm telling you right now, we should be done. We should be done. We should be past trying to get justice. We need to come together. We need to reunite together and stop thinking that you can change the mind of a judge by yourself. Stop thinking that social workers overnight is going to be great people. They're not going to be great people. They're not.
The only social workers that are typically nice when they go to someone's house are just people that are trying to be nice to your face so they don't get hurt when they're trying to kidnap your kid.
My girl just texted me this. Tell everyone that I did a lot of bad in the year and 6 months I've been in the department as a investigative worker. Tell people that it was hard for me to sleep at night. It was hard for me to even have a meal with my family. It was hard for me to look at my kids in the face while I send them to school. It was very hard for me to be me working in that department. Let everyone know that it took a lot of courage and a lot of prayers from my family and myself in order for me to find the courage to leave. And the only reason I left is because I don't want to hurt any more children. So these people were doing things because the supervisor would tell them to do it. Now, the ones that do choose to stay there are the ones who love inflicting pain on other people. Remember, it takes a sociopathic, narcissistic from hell to enjoy pain.
They like having that authority over people and that threat that I can take your kids if I choose to.
It's there. That's
You
why oftentimes, I don't know if this happened to you guys, but I hear this a lot and I witness this myself. When a social worker tells you outside of court that if you don't do something she wants you to do, she will lie under oath. And if you go tell your attorney, she's going to deny it. And that's why California does not allow recording. That's
right.
exactly why California does not allow recording of Department of Children and Family Services, because every other government official, no problem. But the Department of Children and Family Services, specifically, the government wants you to think they're untouchable. So let me tell you something, America. We need to gather as one, and we need to fight for our rights. And I'm not saying in violent ways. I'm saying for us to march on the streets, and I can't emphasize this enough to you guys, because this shit has to stop. It has to stop. Has to stop. Has to stop. You know, having faith and prayers are awesome. But even God told us to put on the armor of God, the shield of protection. And we need to fight for our rights. Shield of protection, and we need to fight for our rights. But God never told us to fight violently. But stand up for your rights. As parents, as guardians, as family, don't ever go against your own flesh and blood. Because once they take your child from you, they tainted that child's DNA by using that child as a trafficked child. And then they blame the parents for the child's violence. No, do not blame the parents for your shortcomings, DCFS, CPS, Child Protective Services. They should never give you that title. Any social worker watching this, I'm telling you right now, you're not above God. Remember that. His wrath is way worse than you could ever process. So let me tell you right now, you social workers out there, you pieces of crap, that you guys have no value. You have no, you're worse than dirt. You're worse than dirt for hurting children. You're worse than dirt for hurting parents. You're worse than, you're a skunk. You're a skunk. You're cancer. You're cancer to the world. That's what you are. You're cancer to the world. You're worse than the coronavirus, for God's sakes. You're the worst possible virus out there. I can't stand you. I can't stand the demon in you, because you enjoy tearing family apart while you're leaving the other innocent children who are being beaten by the boyfriends or neglected by the mothers or the fathers. Those are untouchable. Why? Because they're already broken. You don't want broken. You want the healed ones or the normal ones to be broken. That's what you want. See, that's not an act of God. This is an act of a demon. Only a demon wants to break what's not broken. That's what a demon does. But for these children to be missing, this amount of children to be missing, for a 2 months old to be raped by multiple men until the baby dies, and you cowards want to put it under the rug because you got your incentives already. See, you got your money. You got your money. You don't want to lose the funding, so you don't want to report the children missing because you will lose the funding. When there's not a child in there, how are you going to get the money? Of course, you're going to not report the children missing. Of course, you're not, because you're so evil and you're a coward. You're cowards. You're worse than, I don't even know what to say anymore. For a baby to be raped, for a child to be raped by multiple grown men, that's what you guys want. You want to ruin all mankind. Only demons would want to ruin all mankind. Only a demon would do that. So if I hear a social worker on social media saying, I took this job to protect children. No, you didn't. You didn't, sweetheart. You took this job so you can get your Lexus. You took this job so you can get your you know, Teslas. You took this job so you can buy a house. You took this job because you know you can't get fired. You took this job because you're an evil a-hole of a person.
I tend to notice, Ms. G, the hiring practices of CPS. They tend to hire people who know that they can't get a job anywhere else but there and get the benefits and pay that they're getting, because they're usually trash. And they are incapable of landing a job with good benefits and in a decent income. So CPS will hold it over them to make them patsies to do whatever they want them to do, because they know that they can't obtain that income anywhere else, and that's why they're willing to do some of the things they're willing to do.
Yeah.
One of the cases I know of from a long time ago, the woman that took the kids from this mom after the child disclosed sex abuse, her prior occupation before CPS was Walmart.
Oh, I believe it. But people think they graduated, like they got their freaking bachelor degree in science or something. They're literally are uneducated buffoons.
Right.
That's what social workers are.
Well,
they're uneducated ghetto. Ghetto. They're ghetto.
I've met decent people who are right. I've met decent people that are uneducated. This is worse. They're gross.
They're gross.
They're gross.
They're uneducated. I'm telling you right now. And by the way, Stacey, what you just said right now, and even attorneys. I said that before in my shows. They choose attorneys who the bar doesn't want to even keep their license on. The state takes over. If you check your attorney's record, you'll see what I'm talking about. Especially the head of attorneys, the head of the department in LA County. Check the records. You'll understand what I'm talking about. They're criminals.
Right where I live. I've talked about this with you, but Nicholas D'Angelo, he's a perfect example. He was hired by Niagara County CPS in New York State when it was public knowledge he was a sex offender. He was hired as an attorney for Niagara County CPS in New York. And while he was an attorney for Niagara County CPS, he was indicted on 13 felony charges of rape, including a child that he was sex trafficking that was 16 years old from Niagara County CPS. Now he went to jail and he's a level 3 violent sex offender. So that's the hiring practices. And I just want everybody to know this, it's not just fraud or bad hiring practices. This is a contract violation with CAPTA. We hate CAPTA, but it's a contract violation because they're supposed to have diligent hiring practices for people that they bring into CPS. So if the federal government knows that they are doling out all this money and CPS is taking, and the state and CPS is taking this money, that's contract fraud. It's a breach of contract. So if you report that CPS is hiring people like this, technically the government should be asking for all of their money back for breach of contract, which is millions and millions and millions of dollars. So when there's bad hiring practices by CPS, it should be reported to the federal government.
It should be reported. But you know, a lot of parents I speak with, they say, Miss Yu, we're afraid. That case is still open. We're afraid to do this. They want you to be afraid, God darn it.
Yeah.
They want you to be afraid. They want you to be afraid of them.
And if the federal government knows about this and keeps paying the states when they have bad hiring practices, then they're complicit in the fraud too, and then they're liable. And it's millions and millions of dollars.
Just like they made excuses on a dad putting Neosporin in a baby's hand. You know, cut.
They
Since
wanted
when
to
Neosporin is bad for a baby? Well, first of all, babies also, infants have like gloves they can put on them.
Right. Okay? And that's what the dad said.
You know, exactly. So how is that endangering the baby? But you get me? I mean, think about it. If that doesn't make you angry, what the fridge will?
Yeah, they were trying
not. And I know you're afraid of them because I've been there. They make you fear them. But God is so amazing. He tells us, fear not, for I'm with you. But we're so scared of a person that sheds like us daily.
Yeah, so that
person.
That case with the Neosporin, Miss G, it's a horrible case because CPS was taking children from a learning disabled couple, and they didn't. The couple only had their first baby 2 months. Each subsequent child they took right from the hospital, so they didn't even have a chance to have services or a chance at raising their children to see what they can and cannot do. So they took 4 children. I think there was a 5th since, but they took 4 children. One of the children was murdered in foster care. And so this learning disabled couple, with the trauma of all their kids being taken away, then had to process the death of a child of one of their children. And the father was reporting that the kids were not in a safe home at foster care. And the court psychologist called him delusional. Yet the child did die after he reported that for foster care situation being unsafe. And CPS tried to make the parents, these grieving parents, look like the bad people by accusing them of forging a letter about the Neosporin, which they did not forge, and I was actually a witness to. So they went and tried to make these grieving parents who they murdered their child. This is how callous, like, what's more callous than actually murdering a family's child and then trying to maliciously and falsely make them look like criminals for forging a letter they didn't even forge. And they were trying to say that Neosporin on a baby's hands is a safety concern.
You know, I want to say this, okay? If you guys are going to be afraid of them because they told you they're going to take your child if you say anything or do anything, well, guess what? Even if you listen to a demon will never honor their word. A demon would never keep it. You know why? Because that's a demon's strategy, to trick you. Demons do exist. They exist. And I told you guys a million times they need a body to nest in it. And they're nesting in these bodies. They're nesting in every social worker's body. And I'm telling you the God honest truth. These people are not to be trusted. They're not normal. They even laugh at you. They laugh at you.
Miss G, let's put things into perspective for people who are listening. We're not the ones that need to be afraid. They're the ones that need to be afraid because they're dealing with the devil.
Yeah,
So don't fear them, pity them. No fear. Fear is what they want you to have. Fear is what they want to instill in you.
yeah,
Fear makes instilling fear in you makes them happy. Don't give them what they want.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. But the problem is when you're in the situation itself. When you're in the situation and you're new to this,
When you're
you
new,
can't process what we're saying, because to these people, to these parents, all they care about is their kids, especially in the holidays. They want their kids, but sometimes their emotional side takes over and ruin their own case because they're not using it productively.
right,
Okay. And
right.
I get passionate when I talk to you guys because I am pissed at the government and I want you guys to win. I want every parent not to suffer. And I'm excluding from this the ones who truly abuse their children. I'm taking that, I'm not including them in this conversation. I'm including the ones who are truly innocent and not abusing their children. Those are the ones I'm referring to. These incentives that they're supposed to get, instead of helping the foster homes, they're supposed to help the family. When I say family, I'm talking about the biological parents of the child or the children. These incentives, the Family Act, is supposed to help the family. But it, if you guys read it carefully, they only get the incentives if the child is in imminent danger and must be placed in a foster home. Imminent danger must be placed in a foster home. This is why, this is why they prefer putting the children in a foster home so they can get the incentives. You guys don't think that a social worker in California gets incentives, bonuses immediately?
Well, it's job security. Yeah, either way.
Yeah, job security. Job security for what? For I can't say cops because, they create their own job security when they stop people on the freeway innocently. But anyways, I mean, it's like they have job security from every which way, giving you tickets at the end of the month. For example, they stop you on the radar traveling, on the freeway, going 70 miles an hour, and they're telling you you're going 91 or 92 miles an hour. That's how they make their money. Without the tickets, right? The state is not going to make any money. We're talking about $1 billion a year. That's how much money they get from our tickets. That's how sad it is. So they make money from every which way possible from us. Besides, we still pay their salary. They take more money from us, but yet we still pay their salary. We pay taxes every day, and we pay taxes at the end of the year. And then we get tickets innocently, while the other ones are like passing us on the freeway. They stop the innocent. Always. Always. Same thing with our children. The kids are being abused, they're left with the abuser. And they're taking children from innocent parents who never abused. If one parent is not the non-offending parent, why are you punishing the non-offending parent, CPS? Answer me that, you cowards. Answer me that. Answer me that, you cowards, you pieces of crap. Why? Why would you punish the innocent parent who had nothing to do with what the mother did or had nothing to do with what the father did? Why? Well, family court system tells you what? Oh, well, we're going to give custody to both parents even though the other one is a, abuser, but 50-50. Okay, so family court did that, 50-50. The one parent is home, the other one has the kids, the other one gets in trouble because that one that has the kids did something wrong, and then the one that's innocently thinking they're having fun with daddy or mommy gets in trouble and says, "Oh, you failed to protect." No, they didn't fail to protect. The system failed to protect because the mother addressed it in family court, because the father addressed it in family court, and family court decided to give 50-50 custody anyways, right? Knowing the other party is the abuser. And if the mother speaks of abuse in family court, guess what they do? They punish the mother by taking the child away from the mother and giving the child to the father, and the mother and the father are strictly advised by their freaking attorneys not to say abuse in court. And then when CPS becomes involved, right, then they punish the parent that didn't have the children in their custody, and they give the children to the parent who actually abused the child. That's how our system works. This is our government. If this doesn't make you pissed, we all need to gather together. We have to gather together everywhere in the United freaking States of America. That's what we need to do. We need to stop the government from doing this shit by letting them see us together, united together. They're more afraid of us than we should be of them, for God's sakes. There is no constitution, really. If you really think about it, you don't have a right to speech. You don't have that. They're taking that away by setting rules in place to violate your rights to speak. They're doing it with YouTube. They're doing it with Facebook. They're doing it with other social media places. They're doing it. They want you silenced. Silenced, I say, silenced. When are you going to be how long are you going to be silenced, America? How long are we going to continue to pay the salary of these idiotic cowards? How long are we going to do that? So we already know they're demonic. We already know they're corrupt. But how long are we going to talk about it and not do anything about it? This has nothing to do with election. If election, because you don't know who you're voting for. They can have the nice makeup on and they can have the persona of I'm a good family person. But you know how they view us? Oh, this person's from Skid Row. They don't have money beneath me. I don't want to deal with them. But I want to get the vote. So let me talk nice about them. And then afterwards, what happens? Nothing they say happens. Nothing they promise actually takes place.
And they get promoted.
So honestly, I disagree with anyone that says vote. You could be voting for a rat and you don't even know. Actually, one of my friends love rats, and I can't say a rat. I would say you could be voting for
Miss G. I think as Americans, our choices are someone that's going to aid and abet in the child sex trafficking industry, or they're going to aid and abet in this child sex trafficking industry. I don't think it even matters anymore. I think it's all. I really do.
Stacey, we are living among snakes in the grass. We don't even know.
Yeah.
We are with the government agencies all over the United States of America. I have never felt the need.
A lot of this comes to
I hate being in America right now. And I am an American and I hate it. I freaking hate it. I hate it so much.
I think a lot of this comes from the fact that we are bankrupt. And so then they're making money off of our kids. That's where the money's coming from. But unfortunately, I think now, Miss G, I don't even think it matters Democrat or Republican anymore, because I think all the politicians and the leaders.
Actually, what I'm seeing right now with the Republicans, Congress, they're fighting for children who are missing right now.
You know, the people who I think are fighting, Miss G, are the parents. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You might not like me saying this, but I've met people who were involved even with Trump, and I was giving kudos to Trump even for a while, and it seemed like he was creating legislation to protect families and end this child sex trafficking thing. And unfortunately, I think it's all bad, Because if you look at the Family First Act from 2018, it's insufficient, and CPS easily bypasses it and still places children into foster care. It didn't stop the sex trafficking of children. And if the Clintons created CAPTA, CAPTA, that which is what gives the federal funding to entice the sex trafficking of children through CPS, if a president created that, our president could have stopped it. But our president did not. In fact, we got this insufficient attempt. So it looks like he was doing something, but I don't think it affected
Insufficient
anything.
because they didn't want anything that he wanted to pass. They didn't want to pass it.
Until I see somebody stopping CAPTA
Right.
and
It has
stopping
nothing
federal
to do. It's
funding,
not his fault. Crap is not his fault. It's not his fault because he's not he wasn't a politician like the others.
but Miss G, until I see a president stopping the federal funding that entices child sex trafficking, they're complicit because they know about it. They know what it does. They know what it entices. They're aiding and abetting every day. They don't stop it.
I want to tell the parents who are on drugs right now, just because you made a mistake, you're smoking weed, and weed is legal in some states. Am I right? It's legal in some states,
It's
but
legal in New York State.
yeah, it's legal. But if the social worker says you smoke weed um, and they take your child because of that, um, they can't really do that, but they do it anyways. Um,
They do.
that funding, you're right, it is insufficient, Stacy. You're absolutely. I remembered now. It's insufficient. That's why they're taking advantage of parents, because what they're doing, they're going around it. And
Yeah,
it's not because, remember, a narcissist, especially if you're divorcing a narcissist in court, and I know all about divorcing a narcissist. When you're divorcing a narcissist in court, what they do is they go around the situation, the custody, right? They drive the other parent insane. And whatever they're doing to that parent, they say that the other parent is doing it to them, right? It's called flipping the script, right? So that's what the social workers are doing. Because when you're divorcing a narcissist in court, you need to specifically tell your attorney to do the visitation time in ways where it's broken down. Okay. With a narcissist, everything has to be written because they will violate. They will go around it. They're going to say, well, the judge didn't say that. Well, it's not really clear here. So I technically don't have to give you the child at noon. Get it? You have to break it down. Holiday Christmas 2024. Mother gets child at 12 o'clock noon. Father gets child at this time. It has to be broken down. With the act, right? The 1997 act, instead of revisiting it and revising it, they are given immunity. When Hillary took over, more immunity was given to social workers and more funding was given to them.
right. And that's what entices the child sex trafficking.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of social workers are involved with cartels. A lot of social workers are involved with, I don't know, other corrupt people. So actually, I used to say they're worse than the cartels, but they're one and the same.
They're one and the same.
Yeah, they're one and the same. Because, we all make fun of Hamas and we say, Hamas and ISIS, they're, you know, they're killing innocent people because of religion. But before our media have a discussion about Hamas and have a discussion about ISIS, they're not helping the Middle East. I don't see them in Egypt helping people. I don't. I don't see them do anything. But yet they're talking about, how dangerous Hamas is, how dangerous ISIS is. But how dangerous is CPS?
Very.
How dangerous really is CPS? Because Department of Children and Family Services do not carry the name. In order for you to have a name, you have to walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk and go to a parent's house and tell them, I'm a social worker. And if you don't open the door to me right now, I'm going to come with the police and take your child. Take my child? What about a neighbor? What about a neighbor? Calling the police, saying a woman is screaming when there is no woman screaming, so they can retaliate against that woman because that woman have children and they want CPS involved. How many times does that happen? That happens 99.9% of the time. I hear that story every day. Until it happens to you, you are not going to believe it. And oftentimes when I talk to people, they tell me the same thing. Miss G, I never thought it would happen to me. I thought I was a good parent. Well, what did you think about the other ones? Well, I thought they were bad parents. Nobody understands unless it happens to them. And if it didn't happen to Stacy, I bet you anything Stacy would have that mindset too.
Yeah, I know how I thought before it happened to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would never believe it. It's exactly what I'm telling you right now. If we don't come together, we are losing this.
And if anything, Miss G, I really didn't believe it because I married the grand poobah of it all.
Oh yeah.
I married an attorney who worked for CPS.
Oh, sweetie, I married the judge, the DA. I married, probably,
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I do.
So what I'm saying to you guys is that we need to do something about this. And honestly, I'm getting tired of saying how corrupt the judges are, because we already know they're corrupt. Show me one judge that's not corrupt. I'll give you $5 for every judge you can show me that's not corrupt.
They're patsies. See, people don't understand. People think that it's really the judge's desire to do this. And it's different than that. It's a little bit different than that. Judges are patsies because they need to get votes. They need help to get elected. So they're forever in debt to the people that help them get elected. And then those people who help judges get elected have a secret agenda as to why they helped the judge get elected. And then they enact their desires through the judge who owes them. So judges, a judicial position, they're patsies. So they may even be adjudicating things they don't want to, but they feel they have to because that's how they got on the bench, because they owed somebody.
But see, that's why they don't exactly. But see, this is why when there is a family law case, for example, right? If the father has a lot of money and he works for the fire department, example, they can pay that judge off. Not just the fire department. We're talking about they have properties, they have millions of dollars in their bank account. Not just being a firefighter. There's firefighters who come from a rich family, right? And or a police officer, or I don't know, a CEO of the stock. I don't know, whatever the case may be. They look at this person. Oh, they have connections.
I'll tell you this, Miss G.
We want their votes.
I'm pretty sure I found the bribe that fixed my case. And it was a $500, that's all it took, $500 donation to a senator. And I found even the check. And it was written to the senator just a couple months before our divorce because my ex knew it was coming. And it was an off-cycle donation. And actually, the senator ended up losing his position because he was using his campaign funds as a personal slush fund. So by by all means, this was a personal donation bribe. And then the judge that got assigned to our case, there's a newspaper article of that judge profusely thanking this senator for getting him his position on the bench. And when the pediatrician testified in court that my children were, he felt that they were sexually abused, that senator's wife was in the courtroom because she was that judge's secretary. So she was there as the watchdog to make sure that the judge did what the senator wanted him to do.
Oh my God. But $500 really, like I
$500.
said, that's pathetic.
I even put it on social media. It's out there.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just, uh, all the judges care about is actually having people vote for them. Because remember, the judges have to be basically a judge. You vote for a judge to be on the bench, right? So some judges are just elected by the mayor. That's only if they have connection. Like a district attorney, and I know that for a fact, is elected by the mayor, right, of Los Angeles County, example, because that mayor, not because she's a great district attorney, she's a piece of shit, but that mayor knows one of her family members. They have connection, right? So they elect them. They're not voted by people. I know one in particular, I can't stand her ass. She was elected. She was not elected. I mean, she was just, he kind of elected her, but she wasn't voted for to be on the bench. But she's so corrupt as a district attorney, and she's still corrupt as a judge. So it's just worse. She went from one power to the next, and it's worse. I know for a fact I wouldn't vote for her. 100% I would not vote for her. I will go from nation to nation if she ever runs again. I'm telling you right now, and stop people from voting for this woman. That's how bad she is. So it's corruption. That woman lied under oath for her new boyfriend who was fighting a divorce battle in family court. And his wife was pregnant at the time. She literally lied for him on numerous times. She lied for him when he beat his wife, so he's not jailed. She lied for him when he had a restraining order against him, and that woman is a judge now. She did all this when she was a district attorney. She lied for him, and she continues to lie for him. He drives under the influence of alcohol, and she still protects him. So what I'm trying to tell you is that it's all about who you know. It's not about who you are. And we are so fooled by voting for people because we listen to fake news. Literally, the media is what operates us to abide by what the government wants you to do. That's my opinion. Because I was stupid in the past. I would listen to the media, to, the news, and believe everything they say. Everything. Like they're God. And one day I just came to the realization, I said to myself, why am I believing these people? This makes absolutely no sense. As God is my witness, had I not gone through the tribulation I've gone through, the trials I've gone through, I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. I wouldn't. I would still believe. But now I know, okay, you're a narcissist. I see through you. I get you. I'm just going to play that game. So I became a strong empath. Before I was just an empath, stupid, naive empath. Now I'm the strongest empath you'll ever meet. I will play the dumb guy. I will play the stupid guy. and let you just keep going and going and going and going until my strategy kicks in and your ass will be on fire. That's what a strong empath is. I mean, it's was reading about narcissism, and I know you guys asked me about that before. And Stacey, please hear this out because I know you're in the same show. There's different types of narcissism. There's malignant, there's covert, there's this. The malignant ones are the ones you shouldn't fear. Really. A malignant narcissist kind of like lets you know how they feel, believe it or not. But they are controlling. They're in control. They want you to understand. Don't tell them what to do. That's a malignant narcissist. But the covert narcissists are the worst types of narcissism there is. Because a covert narcissist is where they hide. They hide their true identity.
They're
And
deceptive.
they have the same traits as Satan in the Bible. They're arrogant, they're prideful, they would laugh at your pain. They literally deliberately inflict pain on you. But a malignant narcissist just lets you know they're narcissists. Hey, I'm controlling, I'm this, I'm that. At least that's from my, overall experience with other people. So there's different types of narcissism. Malignant, I think, will be the loud one, the talkative one with their partner and tell them, hey, I'm a narcissist. This is just me. But I like things to be done my way. Right? But a covert narcissist will actually lure their partner in by deception. They mimic you, they become you. Remember, narcissists don't have their own identity. They have to choose yours because they hate themselves.
Right.
They hate themselves. They don't like themselves. So they have to choose your identity to be their identity. So
one of the signs of that, Miss G, is if you ever sense that somebody's uncomfortable being in their own skin, then you really should take note.
say what?
If somebody's ever anxious or uncomfortable being in their own skin, then you should take note.
Yep. But they don't know that right away. People don't know that right away.
Right. It's true.
It took years. I'm in my 50s, and it took years for me to know what a narcissist is. My parents didn't teach me these things. They know. My parents didn't even know what a narcissist is. We never knew that there's such we didn't know. We didn't know. This is insane. Narcissistic husbands are the most insane. Covert narcissistic husbands or spouse, or boyfriends they're the worst you could ever have in your life. Ever have in your life. So before you get married, before you commit to someone, go to church, dude. Take them to church. If you put holy water on them and their body goes in flame, they're not the ones for you. Get rid of them. I'm telling you right now, narcissist people don't go to church. They hate church.
Except, I think they went to mine.
The covered one. I don't know what yours is. What is yours?
Miss G, I was raised Catholic.
Oh, Lord. Well, that explains a whole lot. No comment.
Yeah.
No comment. Yeah, like Amanda said, they thrive on attention they receive, and when the attention is gone, they find another. That's true. That's true. More so with the covert, though. Covert are the worst. I'm telling you guys.
That is generally true among narcissists, that once you don't stoke their ego anymore, once you catch on to what they are, then you're useless to them, and they will make it known that you're useless to them.
Yeah. And we all humans said something about, yes, the judge I have is a woman.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck on that one, because women judges, I don't know what it is. They need hope.
I court watched today, Miss G, and there were some things I liked and some things I didn't like when I court watched today. But the judge said that there were some concerning allegations, so she took away overnights. I don't
say what again?
She took away overnights.
Wait,
so
what did the judge say?
there were some concerning allegations, so she took away overnights from the father. How does taking away overnights do anything? Either the
Concerning
father's
allegations of what, though?
the kids all moved their bed mattresses out of their bedroom, and the kids all moved their mattresses so they all kind of sleep together in one room.
Oh my God. How old are the children?
They're all different ages.
Like, how old are the children?
Probably there's several kids, but I'd say all under the age of 10 or 14.
Okay, and what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
There you go. Do you see what
So,
I'm talking about? They
but
lack common sense.
my point is, if there's concerning allegations, taking away overnights doesn't protect anyone from anything. So, if the parent is dangerous, taking away overnights doesn't protect the children. And if the parent is safe, you just took away overnights for what?
So the father said, let's just move the mattress into the bedroom so we can all sleep in the same room.
No, it wasn't even anything to do with the father. It's what the kids did because the kid, well, part of the issue,
Oh,
I think part of the issue is the father, the parents don't allow TVs in the kids' bedrooms. So they all moved kind of their mattresses into the living room. They all kind of sleep in there. It's cute.
and and that's why they took the father's rights to have overnight visits with his children.
Yes,
See, that's to me.
right. I have a problem with that. That
This
was the one
doesn't make
thing.
people. It makes me, my blood boils. The other day, I went to the courthouse and I made a sign, and I'm standing there. I'm thinking people are going to be like coming, and I wanted to do a video, and I was like, you know what? I was alone. I was alone, and I just left. I was embarrassed, and I left. Imagine if each one of us gets that angry and holds a sign and makes the voice louder. They're afraid of us. Remember that.
So something else happened when I was watching too was um, they said, well, we don't know what's going on in that house because the father's smart. We don't know what's going on in there because we heard there was a CPS call and the father didn't let them in. And I have two problems with that. One is if the CPS call was serious enough, they would have gotten a warrant. And the other problem I have, if unfounded CPS investigations are not allowed in court, then the existence of a call
Wow.
that they didn't follow through with shouldn't even be discussed in the courtroom and
First
held
of all,
against
that's
any parent.
hearsay. That's hearsay. That's what the attorney should have argued. If he has an
Right, that's
attorney,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
They
that
shouldn't
the attorney
allow
should say
any.
that's hearsay, Your Honor. You can't. But even if the judge said that, right? The judge saying that, he can appeal it, and he can actually get that judge to be removed. He can send a complaint against that judge for making such hearsay decision.
Right,
Not supposed to make hearsay decisions like that.
decisions off of hearsay.
That's hearsay. No, he needs to get that judge removed, removed immediately. And I'm not joking. Get that angry. Get angry to the point where you will make a difference. But do not use violence. Do not use your hands to hurt anyone. But you stand up for your rights. That attorney should have told you that. That attorney should have said, you know, did that attorney say anything in court? Did he say, this is hearsay, Your Honor? Did that attorney open his or her mouth?
Nope,
Say what?
nope.
What do you mean, nope? What
They
basis
didn't.
does
They
the
didn't
judge
object to these
have?
things being held against the father.
What basis does the judge have to say that that's why, you know, the father's not going to have overnight visits? What basis does she have for that? What proof does she have?
Right. So she ordered a home study and a mental health evaluation and a drug screen and these are more invasions.
This is so sad. It's just another child. And what? Is the mother favored in court, or what's happening?
The mother tends to be in this one, yeah. Because the mother did a couple of things that she went to court and got an ex parte order and had the father's visits suspended because the kids were on a not a golf cart but like a ATV sort of thing, but not even an ATV because an ATV is more risky. This was like what am I trying to say? Like what are they called? A gator or something like that. So it's not a golf cart, but it's an ATV thing. So the kids were all in there and seatbelted, but the one kid tipped it and one kid sprained their ankle, and the mother went and got an ex parte order suspending the father's visits. And, it's like kids are trying to grow up.
And when when the mother has bruises all over her and she's pregnant, and the father is not arrested because he's a firefighter.
Right.
That's how fucked up this is. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's how screwed up the system is.
Right. Yeah, they go after a good dad that has these things for kids to play around on and be seat belted in and so forth. And then he gets in trouble.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
We lost you, Ryan. We lost you.
Hello, Miss J.
Hi, baby.
I'm in urban area with my kids.
Hi.
All 10 of them.
What? 10?
Yeah, all 10 of them.
Oh my gosh.
It's a little hard to hear you guys, but I managed.
Okay.
Tell Miss G about the overnights.
Yo, so they suspended my overnights because my kids like to drag their mattresses into the living room and nest sleep together in the living room. Because I only have one TV that I care about in my house. The other bedrooms don't have televisions or anything. So and there's a fire stick in my living room. So they like to bring their mattresses into the living room. I have 2 inflatable queen size mattresses and 2 twin size inflatable mattresses that they blow up too. And I got a couch that's like 6-piece sectional couch that each one of them can fit a kid on. And they suspended my overnight visits because of allegations of that, amongst other stuff. But that's what they cared about. They cared about the sleeping arrangements.
Oh my God.
That's cool. You got Troy. Look. Say hi.
Hi.
This is Riot. All my kids' names are Riot. This is Ryder. Now, say hi, Ryder.
Hi, Ryder.
No, say hi, Ryder. Say hi, everybody.
Okay, don't bring your kids in the camera. Don't do that.
It's So I have 6 kids. I have 6 kids.
When you have an open case, you're not supposed to have the kids exposed on social media. Just letting you know. Wait until
I can hear you now, but I got to walk away from my kids to do this, and I only have limited time with my kids today, so I don't really want to do that.
No, but me, I want you to understand what the judge did. You need to remove her. You need to file a complaint immediately. Your attorney should have objected to that. That's hearsay.
Well, it is hearsay. Everything on the record that they put today was hearsay. None of it's factual evidence. All of it's actually false allegations. And these false allegations are being made against me in order to use the court and my children to weaponize them against me, because my ex is very broken inside, and she wants to spread that pain and suffering outward. And the only way to attack me, my peace and my tranquility and healing, is through my children. And I understand it. And I pray for her healing, and I send her all the love in the world. But I know the whole process. I really feel as if I have a fair judge. The judge's vibe was like it was a good vibe. I liked her vibe. Even though she removed my overnights, she did a lot of other things that kind of put her character on display, and I have the utmost respect for her. But I've been in worse courtrooms before, and and by far this court is better than the last court. The last court literally said that on the record that GPS tracking was a red flag, and it was a future indicator of future fatalities on the record, and said, and sir, to me, you were going to end up killing her. I'm like, first off, them are allegations.
Who
There's
said
no
that? Who said
my
that?
Judge Deborah Hendages.
Oh,
Um, she's the chief judge of IDV court here. Me and my ex agreed to 50-50 originally in 2016, and the children were thriving in the summer of 2016 when we first split up. I have video evidence of her telling my kids, "Your daddy doesn't love you. He loves niggers," and all this other stuff directly to my children's face. So because I grew up in a predominantly Puerto Rican and African American community where I was pretty much only white child in the neighborhood. Um, so she uses that, and four of my kids are Puerto Rican. So my triplets, they're 9. Ryder's autistic. Riot, all my kids are Ryan, Rylan, Rysten, Riker, Rylia, Rylese, Ryler, Ryliana, Ryder, and Riot. So I figured it was time for a riot in this country. It's horrible what they do. It's horrendous. It's treasonous. It's terroristic. It's torture. It's traumatizing. They gave me PTSD in the family court system, and now they're trying to use the PTSD against me. So,
yep.
I mean, you kidnapped my kids. You extorted me for over $80,000. You continually harass me. You terrorize me, and you want to blame me for being traumatized?
Yep.
Come on, get the fuck out of here with that. So,
Yeah.
but I already get mental health counseling in regards to my PTSD, and it's completely court ordered PTSD, and they want to traumatize me, but they ultimately want to target my children. They're trying to traumatize the children to have higher ACEs score, to funnel these children from the family court system into the criminal court system. I know what they're trying to do. They want more sheep for their herd, and they want my children on the welfare system. They want my children in the prison system. They want to traumatize my kids. So I'm vegan. I practice I make my own holistic herbal medicine off of plants. Anything that
That's
all
why they
natural.
think you're crazy. That's why. Because you're not making money for the pharmaceutical company. See?
Oh, I'm not going to make no money for any of them. I'm going to do the exact opposite of that.
That's exactly why they're doing what they're doing. Just sorry, somebody just emailed me.
So yeah, they removed my overnights based off the fact that my kids have always nest slept. They always sleep together in a bunch. They all have their own beds. There's 13 beds in my house.
I did the same thing growing up.
Yeah. Why would you not? Why would you not? Even a puppy, when it's taken from the litter, it sleeps better when you put a little alarm clock ticking inside of. I mean, the heartbeat of a parent, skin-to-skin contact with pheromone secretion decreases the likelihood of anxiety, decreases stress in the child, and promotes a happy development. And these people don't want that. They don't want our children to be happy.
No.
They want them to be miserable like their mother.
Yes, the thing about it is that they talk about shit like that, and sex and that and this and that, but yet they put children in foster homes who have sex offenders living there.
Yeah, well, that's what they want to do.
Right. So children are being
the system.
Books in school for free.
The system wants to traumatize them to the fullest. That's exactly what they want to do. And
other places. That's the point I'm trying to make. Instead of
they should be with a family member if the parents aren't capable, if they aren't capable of providing and protecting for their children. But in they should go with a near family member, but they don't do that. They want to funnel these kids. It's a cash for kids scheme. I called it for what it was on the stand. I told them that they're evil, they're child traffickers. I called them everything that I could. And
That's what
and my
I would
law
tell the
guardian,
attorney. Yeah. You
my
Yeah,
should
law
can
tell.
I just say
guardian,
something?
Yep.
Can I just
Go
say
ahead.
something?
my
Because
my hang on one second. Let me finish this real quick because I want to get back with the kids.
I
Um
want you to hear this
my
too, though,
um my
Ryan.
children's law guardian was arrested in 2010 with crack cocaine possession. And
There you
she's
go.
my
There's
children's
my,
law guardian. The other
yep.
law guardian's a drunk bastard who has nothing but, time on his hands to destroy other people's lives and think he's doing what's in the best interest of the children. Interest means profit on their investment,
Right.
and it's federally funded child trafficking, and it's a syndicate. It's evil. It's really evil.
So I want Ryan to hear this because it's a case he knows of too, because Ryan's a dedicated court watcher with us, and I very much appreciate him for that. One of the cases he knows of, as you're talking about this, was a woman whose son was put into a group home knowing that he had sexually reactive behaviors. And then they put him in a group home. And I even got involved and said, this is not appropriate to put a child with sexualized behaviors in a group home because the obvious is going to happen. So it did happen. And a parent came to me and I was like, that his kid was being sexually abused in that group home. And I'm like, well, it's probably, and it was. So
Right there.
we got the child out of
Sorry.
the group home, but the sexually reactive kid stayed. And we've been trying to get the sexually reactive kid out of the group home. And there's a family member that wants custody of him. I'm trying to help. Do you know what they did with the kid with the sexualized behaviors that's in the group home? Instead of taking him out, they put this child with sexualized behaviors in a group home with toddlers and younger. And
Yep.
they did that because he sexually abuses them. Those kids at that age can't disclose.
Hurt people hurt people. Fatherless children create fatherless children. The
There
more
you go.
hurt a person is, the more hurt they're gonna hurt other people. When they hurt
Yep.
people, they end up in the prison system. It's an evil systematic attack that's federally funded. I call it crimes against humanity because that's what it is. It's treasonous. It's terrorism. It's torturous, and it's traumatizing to the soul. But there's people like us that wake up to the trauma, and we use it as a defibrillator for our soul, awakening the warriors back inside of us. And that's what's
Hey,
occurring with me.
Ryan, I need to ask you something. Is there any way you can come back and like sit down on the
Yeah,
platform
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah. I'm just with my kids right now, and I
yeah, I
don't
know.
like taking
Come
the
back
time away
tomorrow.
from them.
Come back tomorrow or next week. It doesn't
Okay,
matter. But
tomorrow I'm free. I'm more than happy, and I'm more than willing to come back tomorrow too.
I'm
okay,
free
yes.
tomorrow too.
Okay, good. Grace is gonna send you guys a link, and well, Stacy gets it anyways. But you, Ryan, you're gonna get a link, and then be with us tomorrow. I want to sit. I want to talk to you. I can't. You're rushing, and because of your children, I want to actually talk to you. There's
No,
questions I want
it's
to
because I'm
ask
it's
you.
because I'm environmentally Hispanic. I speak fast.
Never heard of that before, but that's
All
super
right,
funny.
blessings, you guys. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go back with the kids. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate the opportunity too.
See you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yep.
He's so sweet. I can read through people, and this guy's not like that. He's not. He The children usually fear fathers, and remember when I tell you this, the firefighter I talked to
No,
you guys about, the
his
kids
kids
used to
don't
fear
fear
him.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they used to
no.
fear him, and the system said, oh, the mother is alienating the children. No, you can't alienate a 3 and a 4.5 year old. You could never alienate children like that age.
Whenever I'm involved on a case and watching it, Miss G, I read the court documents. I don't go by, he said, she said. And when I'm walking in the courtroom, I'm hearing what both sides have to say.
You do more than what the judge is supposed to do.
I definitely do.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
Do you see what Amanda wrote? A child was murdered in Pennsylvania, even though the child was removed and several reports were made that were accurate. The child was returned to the mother, who ultimately warded the young child. What? Warded?
Murdered.
Oh, murdered. Okay, that wasn't. Okay.
Yeah, I was fast typing, I
You
think.
meant to say murdered the young child. ignored this and discarded due to lack of due diligence from CPS. I was just saying that,
Or
Amanda,
it
for
was
years.
intentional.
Yeah, I was saying that for years. Why are the children being murdered? All reports were made, and it's all unfounded. But all of a sudden, you find a innocent mother or an innocent father, you know, where you leave all these other children. To me, that's just you can't be more demonic than this. You have to be demonic to do this.
I want to talk about Ryan's situation just a little bit more, Miss G. There were some things that the judge did that I liked because, for example, when she ordered evaluators, she let the parties decide instead of picking somebody who is going to do the evaluation. Because when they pick somebody, a lot of times they do that so they can control the narrative and tell the person to write what they want them to write.
Right.
Well, and you can see Ryan's not too upset about the overnight thing, but I am, because I sat there and I watched that, and they took away his overnights based on hearsay, and the allegations of the kids sleeping together in the living room does not bother me in the slightest. And then it was like they were trying to reconvene for a court date because the judge just temporarily suspended the overnights, right? So if she temporarily suspended the overnights, then let's reconvene in court quickly, right? No, Your Honor, I have an obligation that day. And then the next person, oh, and I have an obligation that day, and this one, and it keeps getting pushed out and pushed out, but you took away his overnights and there's no urgency to reconvene on this. And it's dependent on everybody else's schedule. I didn't like that. It bothered me.
Okay, so it bothers you. What are you going to do about it?
Well, sometimes I do things, Miss G, and sometimes I don't. That bothered me. It didn't infuriate me, but it bothered me. Like the case when I was watching with the baby and the neosporin on the hand, that infuriated me. That I got involved with, and that I did something about. Um, the overnight situation, it bothers me, and it bothers me that there's things I can do. There's some things I'm going to do. I will.
There's something we
I
have to
got to
do
call it out.
something. We have to do something.
Yeah.
Because this is not talking about it, is not exposing judges and exposing social workers and all this is not doing anything. This should, yes, it's bring awareness, and I appreciate that. People who are sharing, please keep sharing. It does bring awareness, but to what extent is it going to keep going? Right? I mean, I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but I'm pissed. I'm so pissed right now
If
that
there
this
was
is happening,
if there was
guys.
allegations, like say the kids were all sleeping in the same room and there was allegations that there was like misconduct going on in there, like one kid touching another kid or something like that, and then the parents still let them sleep all together like that and ignored, I would be like, yeah, absolutely suspend the overnights, right? But just
Mhm.
because the kids do that because there's no TV in their bedroom, as a good parent should have a bedroom set up.
Come on, come on. This is BS. This is not even imminent danger.
It's
What is
nothing.
wrong with people? It's not
So,
imminent danger.
so it
They have
bothers
to
me.
be in imminent danger for them to take the children.
Right.
Meaning,
And then
meaning,
it's dependent to everyone's schedule when they reconvene on it.
I want Amanda Lynn on my show, Grace. She wants to be on the show, and I want her on the show. Please, if you can, Amanda, I want you to text Grace. Email Grace at GRACE at VincentWDavis.com. Email her your information, your full name, your phone number, your cell number, and your email oh, well, you're going to email her, so it's going to come from your email address, obviously. But yeah, so just your full name and your cell number. She got it. She's going to be on the show. If you want to be on the show tomorrow, you're welcome. If you want to be on the
Yay,
show the
Amanda.
following day, you're welcome too. Stacey and I would love to have passionate people on this show. We want people who actually wants to make a difference. We want people who actually, we need you guys to grow balls. a healthy balls, not sick balls. Okay. Um, and I'm saying this with all respect and love. I love you
Strategic
guys so
balls.
much. Huh?
Strategic balls.
Yeah. You have to be, and I'm going to repeat this again to you guys. Jesus said, be as innocent as dove and as wise as serpents. There's a reason why he said that. Be as innocent as dove and as wise as a serpent. Why? Not because snakes are to be trusted. Wise. Wise. Don't let a snake know you're coming after them.
Right.
Never
Amanda,
let them know you're going after them. Never let them know you're smart, that you're keeping track of everything. Never
or the
let
tricks
them
in your
know.
bag.
Yeah. Never let them know that they're being recorded. Never let them know.
Right.
Never let them go. No, don't do it.
Amanda, it's Grace at vincentdavis.com.
Vincent W. Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Grace
Vincent
at
W. Davis. Let me,
vincentwdavis.com.
here, I'm going to write it down. Grace at vincentwdavis.com. Okay. That's the producer. Let me just write that because some people think my name is Grace. Producer's name is producer's email. I can't write or speak right now. I'm so mad right now.
Hi, Amanda.
Grace. I know he looks like my cat. Grace at
There's
Vincent.
just no pushing her way. She just comes back, so it's what it is.
It's a girl.
Yeah.
I have two boys. I have two boys,
We
two
had her
brothers.
brother, but her brother
One
just.
looks like has the spots of a cow on it, and the other one has the skunk white line going,
Oh,
across his back. It's just like he's black and then a white line. He looks like a skunk, and he farts, believe it or not. So
oh,
he
geez.
looks like, yeah, it's so weird, right? He farts all the time. Like, damn, worse than my father was. Um, Amanda said, I'm done being silent. I love that. This has been a long time coming. I love that, Amanda. Email one more. Oh, okay. Got that. Yep. Amanda, you're more than welcome to see you on the show tomorrow. I can't wait to meet you. And if any of you guys want to be on the show, please let us know. Email Grace. I already posted Grace, the producer's email address. My name is Georgette, Miss G. Her name is Grace, so I'm not Grace, guys. Because a lot of people call me like, "Hi, Grace." I'm like, no, I'm not Grace. Uh, Amanda said the corruption within the system is sickening, and these children suffer. Those who need help do not get it. God bless your mouth, honey. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. We cannot keep voting for these district attorneys. We cannot keep voting for these, cowards. We can't do that. I want to vote for somebody who actually is willing to reconstruct CPS. Did I say that right?
We just need Captagon, Miss G.
Yeah, we need.
The financial incentives to steal
We
children need to
want
go
them
away.
to remove everyone from there
You need money to go
and
into the
hire
families to keep kids
competent,
home.
hire individuals who actually is willing to go after the abusers first, not at all times, not just go on, you know, innocent families' homes and knock on their door on the DAs. Yeah, yep. You and I will have a ball tomorrow, Amanda, because I can't stand these people. And there's a lot of police officers too. You guys, at the end of the month, they're giving tickets. Be careful. Don't drive on the freeway in California, like around the 22nd, 23rd, from the 22nd to the end of the month. They'll get you. Or the 23rd to the end of the month, they'll get you. But not because you're speeding, because they have a freaking radar that out of all the 100 people of, passing you by, you're the only one who's following the rules, right? And you were on cruise control, and all of a sudden, they get you for what, 91, and you're going 70? It makes no sense, right? But the reason they say 91 is because they make $1,000 for that ticket in California. So they come after your money. Remember, you're paying their salary. You're paying taxes, and you pay taxes again at the end of the year, and they still do that to you. So again, if this doesn't make you mad, it's happening everywhere. Anyone that has a badge, they get away with crap. Okay?
All right, Miss G, I gotta go.
Me too. You want to say last words?
I love you. Love you, Miss G.
I love you too. That wasn't the words I
I
thought.
know. But you know, you had a hard time at the start of the show, and I adore you for being very passionate, that passionate person you are, and that part of you that you don't want to lose, that you shouldn't.
I adore you too. You're passionate too, and you're a hardworking woman trying to get justice for people. And you actually do, and you're tired after work, and you do it. You still do it, and I'm very proud of you. I really am. You're a good girl. Really are.
We kick butt, Miss G.
That's right, baby. That's why you and I are a team. And I
We'll
want to
get
keep
we'll get
that.
Ryan back on, and we'll get Miss Amanda back on, and it'll be an honor for. Sounds like will be Amanda's first time kind of coming forward with her case. So that'll be an
She said
honor.
I got her all wired up.
Yeah,
I love that. I want to get everybody wired up, baby.
that's right. Get them talking.
Tomorrow, God willing, I'll see you, right?
Yep.
We'll be late tomorrow.
Okay.
Vincent is going to kill me for starting. Keep doing this. Be on time.
All right.
I love you.
Love
Bye.
you too. Bye.